Who was Jeffrey Epstein? A high school math teacher with no college degree, who somehow became a billionaire managing money for the ultra-wealthy. But here's the mystery. Nobody could name a single client. How does a math teacher with no Wall Street experience become the sole financial advisor to Leslie Wexner, founder of Victoria's Secret and one of America's richest men? Wexner gave Epstein something unprecedented, complete power of attorney over his entire fortune. He acquired properties worth hundreds of millions, Manhattan, Palm Beach, a private island. He knew presidents, princes, scientists, the world's most powerful people. So, flight logs revealed hundreds of trips with the elite. But why? How did he organize this operation? Who recruited for him? Who was helping him? Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of a disgraced media tycoon. Some whispered he had connections to intelligence agencies. Others said blackmail.
Who protected him? Who benefited? What secrets died with him?
In November 2018, Miami Herald investigative reporter Julie K. Brown published a series that would shake the foundations of power in America. The series, titled Perversion of Justice, exposed how a wealthy financier named Jeffrey Epstein had escaped federal prosecution for sexually abusing dozens of underage girls. But this wasn't just another crime story. This was about how money and influence had corrupted the justice system itself. Jeffrey Epstein presented himself as a mysterious financier with connections to the world's elite, presidents, princes, scientists, and business moguls. He owned a private island in the Caribbean, a mansion in Manhattan, and a sprawling estate in Palm Beach. But behind the wealth and the powerful friends, court documents would reveal a systematic pattern of abuse spanning decades. The question wasn't just what Epstein did, it was how he got away with it for so long. In March 2005, the Palm Beach Police Department received a complaint that would trigger a major investigation. Detective Joe Reckery led an investigation that uncovered evidence of a pattern of federal crimes. His thorough police work identified numerous individuals who provided consistent testimony about illegal activities. The evidence was substantial. Prosecutors had witness testimony, corroborating evidence, and a clear pattern of criminal behavior documented over several years. In 2006, the Palm Beach Police Department recommended multiple felony charges to federal prosecutors. The case appeared destined for federal court, where penalties could include decades in prison. But then came a decision that legal experts would later describe as one of the most controversial prosecutorial actions in modern American history. In 2008, Alexander Acosta, then the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, negotiated a non-prosecution agreement with Epstein's legal team. Instead of federal charges carrying potential life sentences, Epstein pleaded guilty to 2 minor state-level offenses. The sentence? Just 13 months in county jail. And even that was substantially reduced through a generous work release program that allowed him to leave custody 6 days per week, 12 hours per day. But the most legally problematic aspect of the agreement was yet to be revealed. The deal granted immunity to any potential co-conspirators, a sweeping protection that would shield others from federal prosecution. Even more troubling, this agreement was negotiated entirely in secret. Federal prosecutors did not notify those affected by Epstein's crimes, a direct violation of the Crime Victims' Rights Act. On July 6, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein returned to the United States aboard his private jet, landing at Teterboro Airport in New Jersey. FBI agents were waiting on the tarmac. This time, there would be no lenient plea agreement. Federal prosecutors in New York's Southern District had prepared a detailed indictment charging Epstein with sex trafficking and conspiracy. The alleged crimes dated from 2002 to 2005. According to the indictment, Epstein had created and maintained a network designed to facilitate these federal crimes. Epstein pleaded not guilty. A federal judge denied bail, citing him as a flight risk and danger to the community. He was remanded to the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan to await trial. On August 10, 2019, correctional officers conducting a morning cell check found Epstein unresponsive. He was transported to a nearby hospital and pronounced dead. The New York City medical examiner ruled the death a suicide. While Epstein's death meant he would never face trial, the legal proceedings continued. In July 2020, federal prosecutors arrested Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime business associate. The indictment alleged that Maxwell had participated in recruiting and facilitating Epstein's criminal enterprise. In June 2022, a federal judge sentenced her to 20 years in federal prison. The legal process has continued to unfold. Throughout 2024 and into 2025, federal courts unsealed hundreds of pages of documents related to civil litigation, revealing extensive details about Epstein's network of connections. When documents were unsealed in 2024 and 2025, names emerged. Former President Bill Clinton flew on Epstein's plane multiple times, though he has denied any knowledge of crimes. The unsealed documents mention many prominent names. It's crucial to understand what being named actually means. Some were victims, some were witnesses, some had legitimate business or philanthropic connections. Donald Trump's name appeared in documents. He knew Epstein socially in the 1990s and early 2000s in Palm Beach and New York. A 2002 quote shows Trump calling Epstein a terrific guy. However, Trump reportedly banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago in the mid-2000s. No evidence in court documents suggests Trump participated in or knew about Epstein's crimes. Bill Gates met with Epstein multiple times between 2011 and 2013, years after Epstein's conviction, reportedly to discuss philanthropy. Gates later called the meetings a huge mistake. Stephen Hawking attended a conference Epstein funded in the Virgin Islands. Numerous scientists accepted research funding. Being funded by or photographed with Epstein does not imply knowledge of crimes or participation. Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, and other celebrities flew on Epstein's plane for humanitarian trips to Africa. Court documents show no allegations against these individuals. The documents also named victims and witnesses. Many names appear simply because they gave testimony, were interviewed by investigators, or were mentioned in depositions. What we know for certain, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted. Prince Andrew settled a civil case brought by Virginia Giuffre. Beyond that, allegations require evidence, and names and documents require context. How did Epstein organize this operation? Court documents describe a sophisticated structure. Recruiters who found vulnerable young women, assistants who scheduled appointments, pilots who flew private planes, household staff who maintained properties. At the center was Ghislaine Maxwell, who prosecutors proved helped facilitate the trafficking. The operation spanned multiple properties: a 21,000 square foot mansion in Manhattan, a Palm Beach estate, a New Mexico ranch, properties in Paris, and most infamously, Little St. James Island in the US Virgin Islands. Each location allegedly served as a site for abuse, shielded by privacy, security, and Epstein's wealth. The Epstein case spawned countless conspiracy theories. Some claimed powerful people orchestrated his death. Others alleged massive cover-ups. The real conspiracy wasn't his death, it was how he operated for decades with apparent impunity. How did so many people in positions of authority fail to act? Why did the 2008 plea deal grant immunity to potential co-conspirators? These are the questions that demand answers, not unfounded theories about his death. Subscribe for more documentary deep dives. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What questions do we still need answered?